Yeah, it's the Cellf Code podcast. So welcome everybody that's tapping in, everybody. If you have not participated in the Cellf Code podcast before, give you a simple breakdown as to what it is. It is a platform for people to come on and truly express themselves. I want you to be all the way you. You know what I'm saying? If you're on the other side of the screen, you're here sharing with me. That my intention is just to help everybody tap into themselves on a different level. You know what I'm saying? And be able to express that so that other people get to know exactly who they are, what they're here to do for the world, how knowing you is going to connect them to, what it is that they need for those, to succeed in life, essentially.
100%.
So it's important that we get to know you because you are the only version of you, as you already know. You are all people. First and foremost, is my brother. You know what I'm saying? It's my IMC Nation brother. But even deeper than that, we are connected spiritually. Even looking at our birth chart, I can see the connections. I see so many different things that line up, and we're gonna go deeper into that because it actually matters into how we relate to each other and also relate to the world. You feel me? So
100%.
we'll go into that. Once again, my intention with this episode is to help the world know and to give to know who you are, and also to give a formal introduction as to who you are for the world, so people can come back to this podcast and say, you know what, I want to know who Pyro is, and you want to be able to show them, hey, just tap into this, you're gonna get to know me on all different aspects, levels that you weren't even ready, So
yeah. I'm ready for that. I'm ready for all that.
Say less.
Ready for all that.
Let's do it. All right, man. So let me start off with, I got three things. Get my notes in order here. I got three things that I got to say is specifically about you.
Okay.
You're very powerful in your presence. You know what I'm saying? When you move around, you operate. You know what I'm saying? Us engaging in the, we were a part of the model retreat, and but just even before that, like leading up to that, our presence. You know what I'm saying? I know I have a presence about myself. It's something that people comment on often, but you also have, a very, very deep presence about you that I don't know if you're as conscious of as other people are.
I'm not.
You know
I'm
what I'm
not
saying?
actually. I don't get that kind of feedback. I feel it, but I don't get that kind of feedback, to be real with you. So that's dope. That's dope.
Right. Yeah, man, it's real. It's real. It's like it's undeniable. You know what I'm saying? And other people can probably attest to it. You know what I'm saying? If we were to ask them and say, do you feel anything coming from Pyro in particular? They would be like, yeah, no, I feel his presence and I feel his energy. You know what I'm saying? More than anything. So that's number one. Number two is you are way ahead of your time, bro. Like just a conversation that we've had in the past, and overall your perspective, the way that you perceive, your life, is very, very, very powerful. You know what I'm saying? And you are ahead of your time in that sense that you establish yourself with a level of dignity. You know what I'm saying? And respect. You know what I'm saying? And you. That puts you ahead of your time because a lot of people, at our age do not have that, you know what I'm saying, that introspection into themselves. So
yes, sir.
And the last thing is you have changed the world already and you're going to continue to do so. Just by the content that you've already created, and engaging with different people, that's just the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So
that's dope. Yeah, man.
Without further ado, my brother,
that's dope.
Welcome.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? I want to hear from you. Exactly what is it about you? My first question is, how do you perceive yourself?
All right. Well, first of all, thank you for even having me being a part of this, man. This is big. You know what I'm saying? How I perceive myself, man, honestly, how I perceive myself last week is 100% different how I perceive myself this week, to be honest with you. Wow. I just see myself as a growing entity, man. When I enter this new year, I made a big decision, which was to just grow in all kind of ways, and that's part of the reason why I made a lot of different changes in my life. And the solid thing I could definitely say is just being so curious of my potential, man. I'm just so curious. Like when I woke up to my potential and I woke up to just knowing that there's a part of me that, I wouldn't have even come close to trying to realize or see for myself, but I just didn't believe in myself first. So I just perceive myself as a person that just believes in himself and that is willing to just face whatever it takes to just see the end of that. And if that takes whatever that it comes, that's what comes. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, nobody's getting out of life alive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I can't sit here and let anything less than life itself bring me down. So that's just how I perceive myself, just somebody that's constantly growing and doesn't really pay any attention to anything else less than that, just growing, becoming the best version of myself. That's solely how I perceive myself, to keep it real with you.
That's huge, bro. How did you get to that point to where you perceive yourself as somebody that believes in themselves? You know, because that's something that's, you know, missed by a lot of people. A lot of people do not believe in themselves because I feel like they're missing the element of themselves. What is that element that's in you that allows you to believe in yourself? What is it about you that you are believing in?
That's a good question, brother. So I would have to say it would have to be, man, I had so many, maybe just what it was. I had a lot of people outside of me tell me what I should be doing. A lot of people told me, hey, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. And I found myself one too many times trying to fit into that glove that I couldn't fit into. And it just came a point, bro, where I had to just sit back and just really ask myself truly, like, bro, you're gonna, you know, you're not gonna be here forever. What is really making you happy? And I just really saw that everything that everybody told me I should be doing or shouldn't be doing just wasn't for me. So I had to really come into a split. It was a split, you know what I'm saying? It was like, bro, I got to go against all these things that I thought was me or thought that I could become and all this extra stuff like that. And it just wasn't it, man. So I had to start shedding, you know, as like a snake, you know, when a snake gets a new length, it sheds skin. And I had to see myself shed that layer of my old self, and that's where I started believing myself more. I just threw myself into the fire to recreate my new life. So that's the part that it is. I think a lot of people need to realize that the more you stop trying to do what somebody else tells you to do. I'm not saying don't take advice. It's nothing about not taking advice. It's the difference between taking advice and somebody telling you you need to go do this because this is what I see for you. And, you know, if it doesn't align with your heart, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So I think what all came down to me is that I just went into a really dark place, and knowing that everything that I was chasing in my life, bro, it like when I got it, there was no like, oh, man, like I did it for every reason I wanted to be. It was like, it was hollow. It was very hollow, no matter what accomplishment I got, because it wasn't what I solely wanted. So I always encourage people to make sure that they always start breaking out that shell on whatever it is that you thought you were supposed to be doing. Because how do I know that? Because I did that shit for a long time. I did that most of my 20s. You know, I'm 29 right now. So most of my 20s, I lived that cycle and that system of everybody saying, go do this, go do that. And I just saw at the end of the rope, I just kept coming short. And it wasn't that I didn't accomplish what it was. Not like I didn't get the accomplishment, but the self wasn't satisfied at all, no matter how big those accomplishments saw to everybody else. And the self saw that I wasn't relying on my own power enough. I was still relying on somebody else's word to become something that I couldn't even see within myself, you know what I'm saying, to really get to. So I think that's what it was, man, 100%. I had to just stop getting out of other people's molds of who I am and just find my own and build my own. That's what I did. I just started from the scratch, literally from scratch, from starting out with my name. You know, the name of something is the nature of something. So that's why I made sure clearly what name I chose for myself to start my new path. I didn't start my new path until I found my name, because that is how the word works, if you ask me. So that's the missing element, man. Just don't, everybody listening to me, whatever it is that you're doing, make sure it's something that your heart is telling you to do in all aspects, man. If you working on it to get there, just make sure part of what your evolution is, it has what you want in your heart at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's huge, bro. That's huge. I want you to go into that, exactly what is your name, that you know, not in the sense your name, but what is it, your alias, your symbol, everything that represents you. Can you talk about how that was created and what it stands for and all of that?
Yeah. So, yeah, man, that goes back to, to your first question, which was, I was finding myself a lot in the mold of what people wanted me to do. You feel me? So I found myself in a depression state. Now my spirit is very high, so there's times where I don't even realize that I'm depressed. My machine is depressed. You know what I'm saying? And what I saw was I had to just start all over. I just had to start all over. So when I started doing my studying, at that time I was very heavy into studying and understanding language, understanding the mind and stuff. So first thing I started was with my name. Now I didn't really have a name. My first name is all right. My name is Nathaniel, but I want to sound a little more edgier. So I had a nickname from back in high school. My homeboy called me Pyro. Now the only explanation he gave me for Pyro was that I was a hothead. I was very quick to just snap on people. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, man, you like a firecracker, bro. You just snap. So he called me Pyro.
Yeah.
So when I was here thinking, and I'm not good with no nickname. I ain't no rapper, no shit like that. So I don't got no nicknames on deck. You feel me? So boom, I'm here thinking like, damn, Pyro, all right. So I took him like fire. So I just started really marinated on that and started just breaking it down. I decided to make every letter its own world. Wow. So, PYRO, perceive your righteous outcome. You got to constantly be in that state of mind of projecting what you see for yourself and start with the outcome of that. So you got to keep perceiving that. So that's where I got that. And as I continued doing that, I saw names that appealed to me. So Master Pyro was one. Yesterday I posted him on on my page to let kind of people into my world of how I started developing this world within myself. Right. And one word that he struck with me, I make sure I cut that out and put it in there, which was that he said that for him coming from the ghetto and coming from the projects, he had to make sure that if he did make it, it was bigger than where he came from. So he's like, everything I do, I have to master myself. I have to do that. And that just clicked with me, man. I was like, bro, this is it right here. I gotta make sure that no matter what happens outside of me, it's for myself to keep elevating. At the end of the day, that's how you don't get distracted on what's happening outside. You keep on staying on that process. Wow. So boom, that's how I got Master Pyro. And I ain't gonna lie to you, it's very elevating to have that name, and it's very elevating, and it pushes me up because now when I wake up, I remember that I own that. I put on that garment. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gave me that. You know what I'm saying? So therefore nobody can take it away. So I have the power to wear that or not wear that. Absolutely. You see what I'm saying? So I take full responsibility in that because it's such a beautiful thing that I really created this world straight out of thin air, man. Straight out of depression, straight out of the dark. You know what I'm saying? That's where all this energy is. That's why people are like, man, you're just on your grind. They're like, bro, you don't understand the dark tunnel I had to push myself out of. To get out of there, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Because I saw how deep it was, man. Like, there's levels to it. I know what I'm saying. I'm not saying I was, the worst of them all, but at the same time, I felt that anguish in the spirit of just being depressed, not getting out of life what you want, you know what I'm saying? Or not even feel like you're getting it, you know what I'm saying? So it all goes down to the name. So you can always have that as your North Star, I like to call it. So when things get dark at night or things get dark in your world, your North Star is your name. Well, what is it that you accomplished for yourself that you wanted? And that's going to always keep you, in my sense, and how that helped me out is kept me going forward.
Wow. Yeah, that's huge, man. Let me speak to that because, I recently changed my Instagram name as well, and it is Master Myself. So part of that process was, what's that?
I love how you did that, though.
The reason why I'm bringing it up right now is because, I have to give credit to you. You know what I'm saying? I've seen the way that you created your character. You get what I'm saying? You created the box that, people can perceive you in. And that's similar, obviously, to the work that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And
for sure.
It's so huge, you know what I'm saying, to understand that what it is that you're logging into every single day, the Instagram, that's the way that you perceive yourself. You get what I'm saying? And that's why I wanted to intentionally do that. So I understand that, no matter how, you know what I'm saying, the world is perceiving me, I know that every time I go to my Instagram, I see Master Myself. So, that's similar to yours, you know what I'm saying? I have to give you credit for that because it's like through experiencing, relationship with you and understanding how it is that you are doing what you're doing, you know, I was able to recreate myself in that sense as well.
For sure.
I'm also able to do that. You know, I'm the real life monk. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not
here. Yeah, man, that's love, dog. That's love.
It's
a lot of power behind that, man. Like you said, and I love how you spelled it out, Master Myself with CELLF, because man, that gives that when I see that, bro. And, you know, especially for people that's on the path that we're on is elevating and enlightenment, you just see how that's where it starts from the self.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And if you can really tap into yourself on that level, man, it's like a domino effect. You know what I'm saying? So, and then what I see is I see you starting from the micro, expanding big. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
that's what I saw out of that. So that's big, man. It's big.
Yeah, that's a great way to put that. Can you talk more about who you are to the world in particular? Like, so what it is that you do in particular, people that don't know, that are watching this podcast, that have no idea who you are, can you just tell them, give them a little bit of introduction as to who you are? Because I can speak to who you are, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it justice, you get what I'm saying? Because there are so many different things. I know you're a video director, you know what I'm saying? You make music videos, you make you just are absolutely creative with the camera. You get what I'm saying? The camera is your magic, you know, it's your magic instrument. It's like a magic wand. You feel me? So anything that you do, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to putting stuff on camera, it turns into magic, or turns into whatever it is that you want to do.
Yes, sir.
You know?
Yes, sir.
And
yes,
that's just one aspect of you. That's the part that's tripping me out, you know, because there's different things that you've done in the process leading up to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're an Army veteran, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're an IMC Nation, you know what I'm saying, affiliate, or you know, you're ingrained in that, you know what I'm saying? And we've been part of this process for years. So can you speak to what that is exactly, so that people can understand, you know, what that is for you?
Shit, bro. Shit, I'm still digging myself on that, man. I could just tell you what I've gotten so far from that search, man. So as far as my videography work, man, and I'm gonna trip some of y'all out as far as how this shit works for me, man, because this is some next level shit for real. So when it comes to me doing videos, bro, you know, I didn't learn from a school. So let's start there. I didn't go to school for this. I don't have, you know, you got to do it like this, do it like that. I don't have none of that when it comes to videos. That's number one. I never had nobody really sit down and teach me how you should do A, B, and C. So let's start from there. Now, when I started getting into this camera stuff, it was really just on me seeing images in my mind, and seeing sequences in my mind. That's how it started off. So now what happened is that's all I had. I didn't have the equipment. I didn't have the audience at the time. I didn't have none of that shit. All I had was just a vision of myself or what I wanted to do. So what I did was, literally every time I shoot, I literally go into that state of mind of just catching visions in my mind. I let visions just start pouring in from wherever they come from. And I literally mimic the same motion that I see in my mind with the camera. Because see, initially the camera only has one eye, which is crazy, right?
Wow.
The camera only has one eye, just like the eye that I have in here.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Wow. So it's the same motion that I use. So when I start seeing visions and it's moving a certain way, I literally guide the camera in that essence. Another thing is too that through whatever connection I got, I see geometrical shapes when I shoot. So sometimes I might see a diamond around somebody. Sometimes I might see a hexagon or whatever. And the thing is that I got to a level now where I can play with that. I can make the size, depending on what lens I have, I can move the size of it. I can tilt it. And this is why my angles and my cuts are so, I feel it's so gravitating, because I'm connecting in the place that a lot of us, I feel, are connected to. We're all connected to that ether plane, and I pull from there. So with that being said, that's how that magic works. And it's funny you said, because one of my good friends, when he booked me, I'll never forget, this happened last year when he introduced me to his friend. He's like, hey man, I booked Pyro for our trip. And he's a fucking magician with the camera. And when he told me that, I just thought about it. I'm like, damn, bro, like, it's kind of true. It's kind of true. Like, I can't even knock that. You know what I'm saying? So I got that from that world, you know what I'm saying, with camera and
Definitely.
just seeing images and seeing visions. And that's what I like to call it. So I like to call it visions. Now, it's the same process I use to produce my own visions in my own life. When I start seeing things that I want in my life, it's the same type of energy. You know what I'm saying? And that all comes back from, you know, my background. Like you said, I'm an Army vet. I got out the Army last year in November. That, you know, I was in college in Puerto Rico. I was doing, you know, work over there. And, you know, like I said, going through all that shit and seeing things in the island, that paradise vibe, just having that, because, you know, when I have memories of Puerto Rico, it's almost dreamy. It's almost a very dreamy memory. You know, it's not as solid like I do when I'm here in Tampa. I don't know why that is to me. But whenever I reminisce and think about Puerto Rico, it's very dreamy. I don't know, it's because of like the way how the island paradise feel is. But I always resemble to that when I start thinking of visions and stuff like that, and then tap into that. So, but it's the same concept, and I feel like anybody can do that. That's the whole. That's the best thing about it. I feel anybody can have those kind of visions, but they have to be very aware of what they want, and let that energy guide them in that vision. And that's what I do when I go to shoots. I trust that energy when I'm at the shoot that's going to guide me in that time to get the shots that I need, to get the vision that I need, and then I'll piece it back together when I get to edit it.
Wow.
Yeah, man. That's kind of my little project. That's my little process, but it's not far off to what anybody else can do. You know what I'm saying? It's something that I feel like anybody can do to that level. Maybe not as much with the camera, right? But they can still apply that same concept into their life as far as envisioning themselves, what they want, how to get it, what's the motion to go through it, things of that nature. And that's what I want to teach the world. I want to teach the world that aspect, that part of what I do, that I practice every day, is how do you hold the vision for yourself? How do you keep on going more closer to your goal by actually seeing it in another place that is real, and you can bring it to your physical. And that's what I'm doing. That's literally all that has changed from last year and the year before is literally how I think. I have the same exact camera, the same exact equipment I had 2 years ago. And I'm having more progress. I'm having more better videos. All I did was just sharpen the tools, and I got there, you know.
That's huge. That was my next question. Actually, I was going to ask you if there was one aspect of yourself that you could give away to the world, what would it be? And
that's a beautiful thing.
You already answered it. That's huge.
Yeah, look at that. Well, let me give him a bonus then.
Okay, go ahead.
So look, man, the one thing I can say that, you know, I can give away to people as far as what I know, on top of that, is just simply not giving up on yourself, man. And that starts back of just truly having what I like to call a contract with yourself. When I started learning from Arash, that's probably the most forefront memory I could say I have of Arash that I heard from him. I remember him saying at a fucking seminar, and he's like, yo, whatever it is that you doing with you don't break that for nobody. You must have a contract for yourself.
Yes, sir.
And that really made me think, like, damn, like, what words do I have for myself? What life do I have for myself?
Yes, sir.
That nobody can tell me otherwise and dictate or control. And that's when I started saying, look, I'm going to be the best director I could possibly be. I'm going to be the best with a camera I could possibly be. And that's part of my contract. I'm going to see to it.
Right.
And so I want people to walk away with that. Make sure whatever it is that you have for yourself, you don't break that for nobody. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's in a sane, serviceful, helping world people around you, if it's in that light, you must do it. You know what I'm saying? And keep it going, you know?
Yeah. That's huge, man. That's huge.
Yes, sir.
Let me go into your chart a little bit, man. I know I sent it to you. I know you're on IG, so you probably can't look at it. But yeah, let's go through it just a little bit. So it says you got your sun sign is a Pisces. So the sun sign is, you know, for those who don't know, sun sign is just not the sign that everybody sees, but that's a sign that everybody knows. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows, like, oh, I'm a Pisces, Cancer, Virgo, whatever. So that's your sun sign. So that's the sign that everybody knows. The sign that most people don't know that they're aware of. And I'm not sure exactly how accurate this is because we don't know exactly what time, but we will go on this. You are it says Sagittarius moon. So what that means is that basically the energy that you attract is a very, very deep energy. You get what I'm saying? A very, very spiritual, very philosophical energy, and a religious energy. You know, those are the aspects of Sagittarius. And so that means that that's what you are attracting. You get what I'm saying? That's the type of energy that you are consistently, no matter what, you're always going to be attracting, just based on, and what a birth chart is just a reflection of, I think I've explained to you before, but it's a reflection of where the stars were at the time that you were born, you know. So
100%.
it's just pointing, it's basically a blueprint to yourself.
It's like the universe signature, I like to call it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, that's a good word to put to it, you know. So that's the universe signature on you is your birth chart. And so that's interesting. It says your Mercury is also in Pisces. So that means that you know, Mercury is more like your intelligence, your intellect, as well as your communication. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you pretty much, that's how you interact with the world. Because that's how we interact with the world, is communication.
100%.
So Pisces is very, very interesting. Pisces is my opposite. You know what I'm saying? As a Virgo, Pisces is the opposite. So it's a very interesting combination when you combine the Pisces and Virgo energy. You know what I'm saying? You can get it working together, or, you know what I'm saying, you'll get a repel, but it's a very, very strong attraction regardless. And, you know, I see it so clearly when I see it with females, you know, I attract a lot of Pisces energy, you know what I'm saying, to myself. And I see when that happens, I'm butting heads with that person, but I also can connect with that person very deeply. You get what I'm saying? Like there's different ways to connect that. And that's just one aspect, you know what I'm saying, of the chart. So let's go to the next one. It says your Venus is in Aries. So Venus is like the pleasure, the love, the romance, the see what other aspects of it. You know, Venus is basically Venus is that aspect of you. You know what I'm saying, of how you relate to the world in that aspect. And so Aries is a me first. You know, Aries is a I'm the most important kind of house. So if anybody has the Aries in their first house, you know, that's indicating that they are always going to put themselves first in that respect. So basically, your chart is saying that, you know, to where it's like when it comes to love and whatnot, I'm gonna come first, make sure that I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Before, but that's so beneficial. And that's the part of the Cellf Code is that, you know, when I was growing up, I was told that, you know, not to be selfish and not to put myself first in that respect. And that was one aspect of it that I overcame. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of the process. Part of the purpose of having the Cellf Code is so that we understand that it's okay for us to be selfish. It's okay for us to handle ourselves first and to put ourselves first in different aspects so that we can serve and help other people. You know what I'm saying? Without that being, you know, part of the process, then, you know, you can only do so much. You know, that's
100%.
Gemini, or your Mars is in Gemini. So the Mars is your passion, you know, your passion, also your anger and your drive. You know what I'm saying? So that's in Gemini. So Gemini is an air sign, and Gemini is kind of like a wishy-washy in that respect. But when they really want something done, they're gonna make that happen.
Yeah.
And you know, Donald Trump's a Gemini. Kanye West is a Gemini. You know, Fabulous. You know what I'm saying? There's all kinds of people I can name off that, you know, have those aspects. But you understand, when you start understanding astrology, you understand, you know, different parts of yourself. You start understanding how you relate to the rest of the world, or why other people start thinking the way that they think. You know what I'm saying? So once again, this is just ain't that loud. It's just a blueprint to yourself. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. No, that's deep, because you know what? I never knew all that other stuff, and some of that stuff makes sense a lot. Because, you know, I don't really attract when it comes to females. Yeah. Honestly, I got to figure that out as far as their sign. But I know I don't attract that many Pisces. I know I would have been more aware if a girl was a Pisces.
You might be attracting the opposite, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's why that makes sense, though. Because now when you're telling me that, you're like, man, I talk to a lot of more girls that are Pisces. I'm like, damn, I'm the opposite. I don't really talk to that many. I don't remember the last girl that I've talked to that said, yeah, my birthday is in early March. It's always been later. It's always been later March or early April. In the year. I've never had a girl in the same week or same 2 weeks of my birthday. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I need to really look into. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, yeah, it's real interesting. Anybody that got questions online as well, go ahead and type them. We'll get to them in a minute.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
got a
sir.
couple more
Anybody on my
questions.
live as well. Anybody on my live as well. If you got any questions, just let me know.
I got a couple questions to get to, and then we'll just chop it up after that. So this time next year, how do you see yourself growing? How do you see yourself evolving this time next year?
Bro, that's big. That's big. Bro, that's big because
it's
real. I
real.
literally just thought about this the other day because I had the opposite thought, which was, where was I last year? And
wow.
And I just seen the fucking, oh man, like I see this. I'm just somewhere I didn't even know I would be at. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, I'm in close quarters with IMC Nation. I'm tapped in real heavy. You know, I'm closer to my mentor than I was last year.
Right, for sure.
And I noticed that it's just so big, so much. All I can say is what I do see for myself by next year is getting more on my communication to the world. I feel like by next year, I should have a more solid ground of having that face of this person inspires the world. I think that's more of my focus. Not that my videography or photography art is falling off or anything like that, but I feel like that's gonna help me keep pushing me in that face of people saying, hey man, this guy is doing this, but man, this motherfucker is changing lives though. Like he's changing lives. He might be doing that or doing this, but he's changing lives. So I see myself in another year. I want to grow in that aspect. I want to be able to go to schools, go to even jails, or go to colleges or wherever the fuck people are, and just start waking them up as far as, you know, what they want to do and shit like that. So that's why I see myself for next year as far as growth goes. I know my videography is going to take care of itself, and stuff like that. And I know my knowledge is going to take care of itself. So I don't even fathom what I'm going to be at as far as that goes. What I do have very interest to see is how many lives am I going to change by that time next year? That's honestly a real answer for me. I know a lot of people don't see that part of me, that's a camera. But that's why I'm slowly bringing that out, and that's where I started from. That's just crazy. It's full circle because what made me pick up a camera in the first place was I wanted to teach people shit. Like when I was in college, I started learning personal psychology, so I started learning a lot about the self. And I'm telling you, when I started learning this information that there was a science to the brain and the mind, bro, I was like, yo, this information gotta get out like right now. This should change people's lives like right now.
Right now, exactly.
But what happened was I didn't really go through a process yet. I didn't really evolve as a spiritual being yet when I got that information. So when I was saying what I was saying, I saw that it was either going over people's heads or I wasn't connecting with people that I wanted to connect with because I didn't have a real story. I didn't have real pain. I didn't have a path that I say, bro, I'm like teeth and claw and tooth and nail with yet. Like this videography shit, like it's no question that I'm hustling that hard. I'm grinding that hard. So now when I sit here, I tell people like, bro, stop cutting yourself short, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop doing that shit. Like, I came from an island that opportunity is not that high. You know what I'm saying? And I'm coming now to a new town and people don't know me. So I have every excuse, every reason to not get to where I am right now. But now it hits different because I actually experienced it. I saw shit with my own eyes. I lost a lot of shit. I sacrificed a lot of shit. I sacrificed sleep, food, money, energy, friends, good times. You know what I'm saying? All that. So now I'm able to produce to that next level because of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's all full circle because now all the success that I got from being a good videographer and a good photographer is now giving me the attention that I need to now give my message. And now people are watching me for that, but now they're seeing it behind the camera. So it's a beautiful thing how life works out, man. It's a beautiful thing, dog, because it's working out exactly how it needs to, you know?
Everything happens for a reason, for sure. What is it that, you know, when you were saying that, I was just getting the image of like, what is it that's in you that keeps you going? Because obviously there's a lot of people that don't have that drive. You get what I'm saying? Otherwise, they would be doing something with what it is that they're, you know, or that what they want to do. So what is that inside of you? What is that trait in you or character in you, or what is that energy that's inside of you? How would you describe that to somebody else so that they can wake that up in themselves?
Man, honestly, I would have to say, I know that people want, like, I don't want to see myself fail anymore. Like, I feel like I spent a lot of time failing myself, and I feel like I ran out. I ran out of allowing myself to fail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, bro. Like I ran out of excuses to allow myself to not get my potential.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, like I said, I knocked on a lot of doors that I thought was my potential, and I got in there, and I'm like, this ain't it.
Right.
And like, it got to a point, bro, where I'm just like, I don't want to. I just can't do it no more. I can't fail on my own terms anymore. Like I'm setting myself up to just be successful in my own terms. Like now I feel more successful than I ever have just because I'm doing what I truly love to really want to do. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that the factor in everything is that you got to get tired of being tired for yourself. You got to be sick of your own sickness of whatever dis-ease that you have inside yourself, whatever is not flowing with yourself. If you have a lot of that, you need to recognize that and just not be okay with it anymore. You know? And that's pretty much, I would say, my distinguishing factor is just that I'm just not okay with just being a failure, or I'm just not okay with just being okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not. And I just refuse to see myself go back to where I started from, because it was such a dark place, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was a place where I remember thinking in those times where I'm like that. I remember thinking like, bro, this is it right here. This is the moment where people just get lost and forever right here. You know what I'm saying? Which is the depression or the failures or whatever. And I remember having that awareness or that voice in my head, like this is it right here that makes people fuck up and not want to do any better. And I remember just thinking like this, but this ain't me though. That's not me. Wow. And that has been my distinguishing factor. So every time people tell me certain excuses, I'm just like, I mean, you just don't want it that bad. Right.
You ain't got to that point yet.
Yeah, I was on that side of the fence where you don't see it worth it. You could be right. You are right. It's not worth it because you're telling yourself it's not that worth it. Now, when I wake up and I challenge myself with this, and I want to quit, I'm like, but this shit's worth it though. Like I put it, I'm too deep in to not do it. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that's the distinguishing factor 100%, man. You just gotta have it. It gotta be worth it. Your life gotta be worth it.
Wow.
That's just what it is. Your life gotta be worth it, bro. Because if it ain't, well, you're not, who else you doing it for? You know? And then that's where the whole service thing comes in. Because when you service yourself, you see it bigger than you, you know? And it gets bigger. And that's where the energy thrives from. Because I see now the other side of it. Before it was just, I'm just trying to get paid. You know, I just want to get paid, or I just want to have the attention of being around. But then I started seeing it's not even, it's not about that, because that's can come and go. I saw when I was networking with some people, and I was like, oh yeah, this is it. I'm with this motherfucker now. Oh yeah, this is it, bro. I'm on now.
Plugged in.
I noticed it was just a little moment of time that passed. Like, yeah, you can be with them, but what are you gonna do with it now?
Right.
You know exactly. And that's what it was. So I started seeing it had nothing to do with who you met. It's about what are you walking away with, who you met, and how you're gonna tell, what story you're gonna tell yourself after the fact. And that's how things just kept on going for me. And that's what I definitely want everybody that's watching to get definitely take into your spirit, that it gotta be as serious as your life, because your life is serious, and what else are you gonna be doing?
Right.
You know, I ask myself that all the time, like, bro, I can quit doing all this right now. I don't have to do any of this shit. But I choose to do this, you know. So
regardless.
I got a couple questions over here too. So whenever you're ready to accept questions, I got like about 2-3 questions over here.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, I got
questions for you, right?
Well, I think both, if you ask me.
Okay.
Because I got my boy here, Zero. He asked, would I be able to get some info on the chart? when y'all talking when y'all taking
Oh
questions.
yeah, the
I
birth
was
chart.
born. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for
So
sure.
I could have him tap in with you.
Yeah.
And
Just
get that. So
connecting.
Zero, all you gotta do is
Mm-hmm.
just tap into Master or myself, and he will definitely
Mm-hmm.
put you on.
No doubt.
I got one more here. What are those beads you both are wearing? I got this from the Stephanie Feliciano on mine. So you want to start with yours? You want me to start as far as what this means
You
to
go
me?
ahead, bro. It's about you.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, she said both, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna go. I'm
it's
gonna
all
go with
good.
me. I'm gonna go with me
It's all good.
first. So with me, this is a mala bead. I use this as a tool. This is a tool. Now, when I start getting into the mind, and learning how to tap into the subconscious, that's something that I was very fascinated about. How do I tap into my subconscious? This is a tool for that. It has 108 beads on it, and what the tool is for is that you have a mantra that you chant for each bead. Now, it's not 108 different chants. You can use one chant and do it 108 times. Now, you can only imagine if you tell yourself something 108 times in one day, the same thing, you can only imagine the momentum that you can get in that thought. So that's what this means to me. This is what I use it for. This is what it represents. Also, it represents the Amish Nation, because everybody is a monk at the end of the day, and we live that life. So that's what this means to me. That's why I wear it. I always wear it. I always have different colors to provide different vibes and stuff of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you want to get into it.
Very smooth.
Or
Real briefly, you pretty much summed it up. I use mine for the similar nature. But mine these are Bodhi seeds. So these are from the Bodhi tree, which is stems from Buddha. And that Bodhi tree represents enlightenment. So that representing that's what every time I put these on, I feel like I'm in service to the world, because I've along my path come to a different place of
that's big.
enlightenment. You know what I'm saying? And
I like that.
It's a continuous process. My name on Instagram is Master Myself. So it's not like I reached a point of enlightenment and that's it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a continuous process. It's never ending. You got any more questions, bro? Cause I was gonna go into your chart again. I got two more aspects. I know you gotta go soon, but
I got another. I can squeeze another 15 minutes with you, brother.
Okay.
It says here, when you fail so much and have tasted failure, you crave the win. When you're at the lowest place, there is only one way to find, that's up. You live now. Okay, I guess that wasn't a question. Thank you, I appreciate that. Let's see, your gate is the road to your heart and your mind. I think that's it as far as questions on my side, brother.
Okay, smooth. Well, okay, I got one more question, and then I'm gonna go into your aspects. Well, let me do the aspects first, because then.
Okay, cool.
So another part of your chart says you are passionate. It's talk about your Pluto. So Pluto is in Scorpio for your chart, and that's actually the same that I have. It's funny because a lot of people that I run into, Pluto is the planet of transformation. Pluto is also, I believe Pluto is the one that represents death, Scorpio represents death and being reborn. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you have Pluto and Scorpio, but it says your Pluto's in the 9th house. The 9th house is the Sagittarius aspect, what I was telling you about. Is very, very deep, and very like philosophical and religious and all that as well. So it says you are passionate in your search for truth and essence. Nothing superficial or ephemeral holds your attention. Your intense analytical approach to life cuts through to the heart of things. The directness may not always endear you to others. How does that? How do you translate that? Does that make sense to you?
That does actually, because the whole thing, because just going back to the last thing you told me, is because like I've always been told that when I was younger, I was very mature for my age. That I always seemed like to have like an older spirit and things like that. Because I was always very cool, calm, and collect. Even for my age, you know what I'm saying? So when you say that I have that, that's what I do. Like when I hear people say certain things, and I always see things on a deeper aspect. No matter what, it's like I can't accept anything on a shallow realm. Like I always know there's something more to what.
Let me add to that, because we had a conversation about that yesterday, where I was telling you about how you are purely in the spiritual realm. Initially when you first meet somebody, that's the spiritual connection that you establishing with somebody. So anybody that knows you and has gotten to know you over time, they can speak to that. They can attest to that and say, hey, man, this, like I said, like that's your presence. That's what I was talking about in the beginning.
That's real.
That's that connection, you know what I'm saying, on the spiritual level before you get to the physical. So go ahead.
Yeah, and that's what it is, bro. And I it's crazy, bro, because I didn't really start noticing all this until within the last month. This last month that just passed has been very challenging for me. It's been very eye-opening for me. And I started seeing that the relationships that I've been holding with people, the conversations I've been having with certain people, how some people gravitate, some people push away. I just see how before I used to think it was me, but now I started seeing that how some of it is me and a lot of it is some of it is them, as far as like why they're repelling for me. It's not that my energy is not good or I'm being some kind of way. I know I'm not. And if I am, I never had a problem saying, yo, my bad. But I know some people, they're not trying to be active in their evolution. So when they face somebody with that energy, that obviously forces them to shut the curtain. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit, that's too much. You know what I'm saying? Right, that's how I see it as, because like I'm just being pure. I'm just like, bro, like this life, bro, it's time to go. Like it's time to make something shake and bake. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But some people are so comfortable in what they're doing. It's like boom. And then when I tell them what you're telling me don't make sense, they're taking it as if I'm being an asshole. But I'm not being an asshole. I'm just trying to help you see the world behind your words, and that it doesn't align with what you're doing. So you're giving me a problem. You're facing me with a problem that you're having, but the problem is that you're in your own way. Wow. And the only reason why I know that is because, God damn it, almost all my 20s I was in my own way, and I saw that. I spent almost 8 years in my own way. It's not hard to see that in somebody else. Right. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. After you see it in yourself, it's easy to see it in somebody else. It's easy to see it in somebody else, genuinely, right? Because a lot of motherfuckers like, I've been going through this. But you know, you're not really beating yourself up how you should be. Or you're not really praising yourself as you should be to really be showing somebody else how and what they think you should be doing. And that's what I'm saying when it comes to people like us. We do this every fucking morning. Every day. Every fucking morning, bro. Like, this shit is not easy, bro. You know, it really isn't. But at the same time, it becomes something that we grow to love of that process. And that's why I can look at somebody and say, hey, man, like, you got to tighten up a little bit more. And I always come at them at that level because it's my nature. It's just what it is. That's always been like that since I was young. Yeah, that's real. And that might be too much for people to embrace initially. You know what I'm saying? It's like you going straight to that spirit, and then you like shaking them, you know what I'm saying? It's like, wake up, you know? That's exactly what it is. And I'm learning how, for some people to handle. And that's why I'm trying to bring it to my Instagram now, so I can kind of break the ice through Instagram. Right. So when they do have a conversation with me, you already know what you might be facing, so don't expect me to apologize when you already have an understanding of who Master Pyro really is. You know what I'm saying? So, absolutely. Yeah, man. Oh, man. Well, shoot, man. We've been tapping in. We've been going in for a minute. I just want to ask one more question. The process of you getting to where you are now, somebody wanted to take steps to get to be in the position that you're in, because I feel like you're in a very, very unique position, but if somebody wanted to start taking steps to get to where you are in terms of being a director and you know, doing what it is that you're doing in terms of serving the world and inspiring others, how would they start taking steps to get there? First thing I would have to say is you gotta see what you want to do. So if you want to get into directing, you want to get into making videos, you have to figure out who is doing that you look for. So you gotta go look into who's creating what kind of videos that you want to create. You go online, you can find a million of those kind of people. You find one that's close to what you like, and you study them. You figure out why they think the way they think, why they chose what they chose, why they use the camera that they use, why they use. You need to know all their whys and know what they're doing. That's number one. Then number two, you need to start investing in yourself wholeheartedly. Meaning what? If you have to stop going out eating, if you have to stop hanging out with so-and-so, if you have to stay up later, you have to wake up earlier, It don't matter. It's whatever it takes. It's whatever it takes to get to your next level, what you want. If you don't have those things I just said, you're not going to get anywhere further, because those are literally the same principles that I've continued to keep reapplying in my life. Wow. You know, I see we got a 2-minute marker here. It's telling me we got less than 2 minutes here. So
on the live, yeah.
Yeah, on the live, yeah. All right, so cool. for y'all got 2 more minutes. So check me out. This is what it is. You gotta have that, and also you gotta stay on the path of what you want on that. And also just don't give up. Have faith that you will get there, and practice every single day. Every single day. Every day. I don't care if you had work all day. I don't care if you just go outside just to take 2 or 3 pictures. Yeah. All right, IG's off. Yeah. I don't care if you only took 2 or 3 pictures. You know what I'm saying? Or 2 or 3 videos, or you just made 1 clip. Right. I don't care. You do that and you throw it on the editor, or you go figure it out. You figure out how to edit. But you gotta constantly keep that wheel spinning of creativity, momentum, and you gotta do it every day. You gotta do it. If you want to get to where I am right now, you gotta do it every day. Wherever you are, you gotta start where you are. Right. Don't think you're gonna start with 100 followers, 200 followers, with the best camera in the game, the best editor in the game. If you're thinking like that, you already lost. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You already lost. Because I didn't have none of that shit. And I saw the more my mind kept going for that thought, the more I was losing inside myself, because you keep telling yourself you don't have what you need, but you really, in reality, you do. So with that being, and I always believe that whatever I have access to right now is enough to get to my next level. So that must be another thing in your mind too. If you don't have none of those things in your mind, you're not really gonna get too far, to be honest with you, because the life is gonna fight back. Life is gonna fight back, man. Right. Be real with you.
Dope, brother. That's a great plug, man. Shoot. Anything else, man, you want to say? If this was your well, this is your stage to the world, but if this was your one moment to speak to the world and tell the world exactly what they need right now in 2020, in what we in August, in August 2020, moving forward, what would they need to continue to be successful moving forward from this time? You know, considering everything that's going on, the culture, you know, all the chaos, everything that's going on in the outside world. You know, we don't really live in that world, but you know, for everybody else, what would you say to them?
I would have to say you might have to relook at your circle, man. You just might have to do that. You might have to relook at who you're associating yourself with, who you're aligning yourself with. And this is real hard. If I'm getting goosebumps saying this right now, because this is real right now. Yeah. You know, I was very big on being on myself, being on my own. But I noticed that how I was able to tap into the level that I did is starting to tap in with like-minded individuals. People that want to see their own potential, people that are hungry to see their own potential. Wow. And what I would have to say is anybody that you're going to, when you go into a path and you're on your own, you're going to hit a brick wall at some point, and you're going to have to look around and have some kind of support from somebody. You know, everybody that's great knows they didn't do it by themselves. Right. So I will have to encourage anybody listening to this right now that you got to look around and make sure that whoever is around you has like-minded intentions and is hungry as you to accomplish some kind of goal in their life, because that's literally a huge key factor in success. And I see how that played a big part in myself. And it could be detrimental to your success 100% if you don't have the right people around you. So I just encourage everybody that listens to this to make sure you realign yourself with the right people. Don't be ashamed or afraid to tell somebody either you're going to tighten up or I'm going to walk myself, and I'm going to let whoever attracts to this kind of energy is going to come in and let that be. And don't feel no way about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, wholeheartedly. So that's what I want to let people know, man. Definitely.
That's so huge too, man. As I think about, you know, the position that we're both in, I mean, this is how this was created. You get what I'm saying? By us, you know, making sure that, you know, the people that we are surrounded with, connected to, like I was telling you yesterday, you know, I'm only connected to so many people, you know, at this point, but I love it. you know, and I love, you know, having my own space, you know, where I'm at. And then also being able to connect with other people that are also doing the same kind of process, same ritual, same, have the same mindset. You know, that's how this is actually coming to fruition and how it's going to build. You know what I'm saying? So this is how it starts, by us connecting as IMC Nation, but also us connecting as, you know, just people in general, you know what I'm saying? And being able to connect, like you said, with the right-minded people. You know what I'm saying? The spiritually aware, spiritually awakened, you know what I'm saying? People are able to tap into a different level of consciousness and be able to stream, you know, a different level of thought so that we can connect on a deeper level and go deeper into conversations. I mean, I know me and you have had multiple conversations where, you know, we just end up getting so deep. It's like, how we even get here? You feel me? But it's like, but it's so beneficial. You get what I'm saying? Is you can build on top of that, but it's understanding that, I mean, the reason why I wanted you on, you know what I'm saying, is because you have a certain understanding of yourself. And you know, anybody that's coming on, I want them to have a certain level of understanding on themselves. And if they don't, you know, that's what I'm gonna help them, you know, be able to do. But you know, that's what it comes down to, you having yourself, having an understanding of yourself to a certain degree to where you can share with other people and say, you know, this is my experience. This is what happened on my end. This is what transpired for me. And us sharing those ideas, us going back and forth on that allows us to connect, you know what I'm saying, something that wasn't connected before, and then we can build on top of it. It's like, it's literally like a web, you know what I'm saying? It's like www, you know what I'm saying, World Wide Web, that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, we continue to connect, you know what I'm saying, with different like-minded individuals and whatnot. So, man, brother, it's been a pleasure. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Shit, let me see if I can squeeze out. I got another like 2-3 minutes. I could say a little something to see.
Let's go 3 minutes. Should be good.
Shit. You know, one is definitely a pleasure you invited me onto this. This is something I've never really done before. You know, having somebody throw questions at me, have me digging a little deeper in what my process is and things of that nature, and allow me to share it for everybody that's gonna see this.
Absolutely.
You know, it's just a beautiful thing to get to this point where, you know, I'm realizing how real this stuff is, and the effect that it's having on people. You know, it's not something that's light. It really is something that's light. So
absolutely.
Yeah, man, we're doing good things. We're doing great things, and you know, I look forward to this expanding bigger than what it is, because it's going to. It's only a matter of time.
Yes, sir.
It's not if, but when. You know.
That's it, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it, brother. You already know the vibes, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I appreciate you coming on, man. For anybody catching this after the fact, this is the Cellf Code Podcast. Once again, you can find the link to this on my Instagram bio. My Instagram is Master Myself. For Pyro, can you give them your handle for your Instagram?
Yes, that would be Master_Pyro with a 0.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, brother, it's been a pleasure, man. Have a blessed day. You know what I'm saying? Salute. Thank you, brother Trent, IMC Nation, for tapping in. Everybody else that was tapping in with us. Hope you guys enjoyed, you know what I'm saying, this conversation. We went deep, man. And, you know, this is only part 1. You know what I'm saying? We're going to continue going in, because I can see this just developing into different levels. You know, we got big plans coming up in the future. You know, me and Pyro, like I said, it's my spiritual brother. So much deserved, brother. I appreciate you coming on, man. So
100%.
All right, brother.
Yes, sir.